tick. I agree. Yeah. So we're wondering, who is Linda Gyamfi? Which
Okay.
African country are you representing? And what is your one advice that your forefathers and mothers bestow unto you?
Sure. So, hello everybody to the audience. So you probably heard. So my name is Linda Gyamfi. I am representing Ghana for the Miss and Mrs. Africa UK and Ireland for this 2024 competition. In terms of Linda Gyamfi, so I would say I am a woman that's very vision oriented. I always like to think positively, very optimistic, even in the midst of any challenges. I always like to find things or find meaning in anything that I'm going through. So I like to always focus on the big picture. I'm very focused around serving the community and pretty much helping people to just find meaning in whatever it is that they do. In terms of the advice that my forefathers and my foremothers gave me, there's this tree proverb in Akan, which is along
Mhm.
the lines of "Se wufri ejiapa na yopiao." So it's the idea that he who climbs a good tree deserves a good push. So it's the idea that, okay, start from somewhere positive, and it's the idea about sowing a seed that you wouldn't necessarily sit on, but allow others to then cultivate and for them to also benefit from that as well. So always focusing on a bit of integrity in whatever it is that you're doing and for the advancement of yourselves and the rest of the nation.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just going to go and hunt for that one after we finish this live, just to understand it more. But yes, I do love that teaching, and indeed, for our African continent, we actually need that push. Yes, so thank you so much for sharing that with us. So, Queen D,
Yes.
what is it that you're curious to know from Leader Gyamfi?
Hello, Miss Linda. I love your Instagram handle, La Petite Sister, and I love that
Thank
name
you.
because I'm also a petite sister. So I just see that name and it's great power. It's like dynamite power. I love that name. Uh, now you've already mentioned some of the things that you want to achieve at Africa UK, i.e. 2024. Um, what do you think your main vision and goal or things that you want to get out of this competition in 2024 are? So what's take us to maybe what your purpose is for this pageantry?
Sure. So starting from an internal perspective, for me, it was about self-care, enjoying the process and using that as a way to just celebrate and cultivate my femininity and also enabling myself to also cultivate relationships, meaningful relationships with other women of substance. So that's self-care and cultivating femininity. The other aspect is also focused around helping people and also inspiring people to realize that you can have many hats. So just because you're over 30 doesn't mean to say that, okay, your dreams are not valid, even if they haven't manifested. So it's the idea that you can reinvent yourself so many times as much as you want. And you don't necessarily have to have one single thing that you it's of passion to you. You can have many interests and you can let that work for you as well. So it's the idea of taking ownership of your narrative, taking ownership of your success, and also giving people the permission to also do the same and not feel like, oh, because I'm now over 30s, I can't do the same. So
Mm,
realizing that life is fluid, there is not one step or definition in terms of how you see yourself, but it's the limitation that you place on yourself that also, I guess, in some ways can also restrict you. So kind of bearing in mind that you can always reinvent yourself, you can have fun, connect with your inner self, and allow others to also give them the permission to connect and also still pursue their dreams, regardless of age and so forth. So yeah, pretty much the idea of ownership of narrative, reinventing yourself, embracing that journey of femininity, and yeah, pretty much giving people the sense of agency to aspire and keep dreaming and keep that inner spirit.
Fantastic answer. Bravo. I love that. I love that. And I think your answer resonates with most of us because you could easily say, where am I going to find the time to do this pageant that goes on for a couple of months. Where am I going to find the time to do the assignments? But it's in the time that you carve for yourself that you actually find aspects of yourself that are long buried or never discovered or never manifested. So I love that answer. And that's what Mrs. Africa UK pageant is about. It's about just finding versions of yourself that may not be so clear to you. Thank you so much, La Petite Sister. Back to Queen
You're
Khadija.
very welcome.
Huh? I'm just feeling the lecturer in you. I was like, yo, I want to teach in one of your classes. Hi. One, I'll come out inspired. Two, I might probably pursue a degree of sorts. Like, oh, this is very inspiring. But thank you so much for walking us through your vision. And we look forward to seeing your journey as we continue to follow you on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, the 14th of September, we are anticipating listening to such information coming out and empowering all of us. Yes? Right. Over to
Absolutely.
Second Princess for your question.
Thank you, Princess K. I think I'm gonna ask you into but anyway, basically I want to know, because I've got a long list of role models, and sometimes, but I resonate with all of them because they all inspire me in different ways. However, who is your role model?
To choose one role model is hard because there are many. I would say, so if I start with my inner circle, I would say my dad as a role model. And he's kind of one of the reasons as to why I have the vision that it is today. So there was a time when I was young and growing up, I grew up in the most pretty much ethnically diverse, but at the same time, economically deprived area. So I grew up in Tottenham. Whilst it's multicultural and it's enabled me to appreciate firsthand direct diversity and also people's needs in terms of their immigration status, their disability, there was a lot of, I guess, collectively adversity that members from the communities faced. And also we had to battle, particularly growing up in that area, with a label, one, because of the rights and so forth. So sometimes I used to internalize that, and it was something that peers used to always be conscious of. However, my dad always instilled the idea of there's lots of vision, there's lots of opportunities out here, grasp it. And so at the beginning, I was like, yeah, whatever, Dad, you're just saying it for the sake of it. But then by and by, as I went through difficult challenges during my studies, he always persisted. And the fact that he was always there, you know, from work and so forth, coming to parents' evening, just his dedication alone and his idea of a better future helped me to also have that mindset. And so that was part of the reason as to why I'm here today. So with that entrepreneurial drive, that persistence, that grit started from him. And then there are other role models as well, but I'd say definitely my dad has instilled that in me. So I'm very appreciative of him. There are other role models that I can talk about, but I say it starts with my dad. So that persistence, that grit, that never giving up, that vision, better future, being committed to actually challenging the status quo, it's definitely started from him. So I'll say he's one of like my first family role models. I'll say he's one of my role models. If I was to look at other role models, I'd also talk about Stormzy. So Stormzy the rapper. So one, it's the idea that he's a musician, but then also entrepreneurial, but then he also leveraged his power to help contribute towards helping advancing the Black community, okay, and people from underrepresented backgrounds. So it's pretty much multifaceted because one, he's helped underrepresented students to get scholarships into Cambridge. Two, he also contributed during the COVID era. He contributed in actually investing funds in children in need so that Black-led businesses can also have access to equity in terms of finance to also scale their businesses and also their social enterprises as well. Now he's also opened a sports academy. So it's like, it's endless. And then he's also opened another opportunity for writers from underrepresented backgrounds to also have their books published by mainstream publishers like Penguin. So seeing that, again, somebody that I can relate to, because he's also come from a background in Croydon that was also economically deprived, but he's used his voice. He's been able to use that as leverage to help and advance other people. So not only is he successful, it's also about improving others. And I say leadership is almost a bit like a perfume and a scent. What is the aroma that you're giving to other people? So what is that signature? That scent is what is people going to remember you as. So that perfume, that aroma is what people will remember you as, your legacy. So it's always about being conscious about that.
Wow.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Amazing. Oh my God. I don't know what to say, but yeah, it's like I could write a book right now.
Yes. I'm thinking,
Anyway.
Queen, where is your book of quotes? Because you are full of quotations, girl.
Soon, don't worry, one day.
We're sending it to the universe.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're sending it to the universe. And I'm sure there's a lot of people writing comments right now, and they're actually responding to each and everything that you've said. So, Second Princess, if you could just peruse and see what the audience has to say.
Princess Khadija, I would like to let you know that
I can't see.
I can only see probably just one comment on my screen. So if you could do the honors, please. I can only see the one from Titi, which says "Hi Queenz," and that's it.
All right, I'll start from when Linda came in. She came in, and then there was Heina and joined. There's Kof Brown 2023. There's Lems, Jen K. Oh my God, Tsitsi joined, which she says, "Hi, Queenz." There's Princess Z. Bonjour. La petite sister. And we've got
Hi,
LiveQueenz. Hey everyone. 3 a.m. Smoke in the house. And then there's White Bajoon. Princess Lisa, lovely message, so inspiring. Thank you, Queen Linda.
Thank you.
60 is in the house. Karibu sana. Teach 60 says, "Hi, beautiful queens." Hello, beautiful. She says, "You're all looking amazing." We say thank you, and I'm sure you are also looking amazing too. We've got Gualan team, Jage, something like that. And then, of course, Igwe. Alfred World. Powerful. The limit is the one placed in the mind. He had to come and put his signature there. Yes, King, we've heard. Yes, and that's about it. So I hand this over to Queen D to ask her question.
So much, Queen. La petite sister, I'll never get tired of saying that. I have a question for you. So you are on an empowerment journey with a whole lot of amazing, inspired ladies, queens who are doing amazing work in their own right. I want to know what makes Linda Gyamfi unique.
Okay, that's a very good question. So I guess in terms of my uniqueness, well, there's quite a few things. So as I said, the fact that I'm very vision oriented. I like to wear colors. I'm the idea that I like to bring colors even in the midst of a dark day like this as well. I always like to just bring energy and smiles to the room. That's how I am. I always see myself, I don't see myself as one entity. There's so many different bits towards me as well. So I always like to find ways to connect. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm always trying to find means to see there's a 360 as well. I also say maybe perhaps my own experience of adversity and also being able to relate to young people. Relating to young people, the ability to literally empathize with people. I say I wear many different hats, so to speak. So my work ethic, my commitment, my drive, my passion. I always like to find passion in whatever it is that I do. So I'm very purpose driven. So I say that's pretty much my uniqueness. But yeah, always bringing a smile, with whether it's colors, flowers. Yeah, just pretty much that's how I am. Just like to bring a smile, and then that's it. Just bring my energy. So I'll say that's my uniqueness. But I'll say I evoke passion in whatever it is that I do, commitment, and my work ethic and my drive.
Fantastic answer. Thank you so much, Queen. Back to you, super host Queen Khadija.
Hello, hello. So now I've just got a curiosity. I'm looking at your surname, Gyamfi. What does it mean?
So it's actually a name of a king. So it's kind of like, well, there's chiefs.
Yeah.
But it's actually my dad's name. So I have a longer extended name of that.
Okay.
So it's actually my dad's name that I've taken, but then it's like named under a king. So Gyamfi, but that's like an Akan name. So in Ghana, we have different regions. So we are from the Akan. In particular, both my parents are from a place called two regions, so Brongahafo and Ashanti. So my dad is from a hometown called Insoko, and that's in Brongahafo, and my mum is also from Tanaso as well. So yes, so it's a can name of a royalty background as well. So yes, inherited by my dad.
Oh, take me to Ghana, please.
Yes.
When you go next time. Oh my God. It what's the cloth called?
Kente
The
cloth.
colorful one. Yeah, I want to wear one
Kente
of
cloth.
those, please.
Yes.
Yes, please. Yeah. Oh wow. Thank you so much for taking us on a roadmap of Ghana. Yes, and we would love to know more about the projects that you do. Yes. So I'm going to hand this over to the Queen of Plugs and Handles, Queen D, who shall take us through it.
Fantastic. Queen Linda Gyamfi representing Ghana. Of course, you already know your Instagram handle is La Petite Sister. Do you go by any other Instagram handles or is this the one that you're officially using for Miss Mrs. Africa UKIE?
Yes, so La Petite Sister. For those that know me, they'll probably know why.
I also want to know.
I've also got
why.
LG. So it's the idea that, well, LG is, so people either call me by LG because my name is Linda Gyamfi, but the L bit, it's spelled in a sort of French way. So L, but then the La Petite, it's kind of like the idea that I'm cute and then I'm a sister. So I thought, okay, add that in because it's the idea that it's like a cute sister. So I thought that's quite catchy. And so people would say, oh, people kind of delve between LG or La Petite Sister. So depending on how close you are with me as well. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of other social medias, are you on Facebook, TikTok?
I'm on Facebook as well. So my Facebook name is LG. So my original name was LG. But the reason behind why there was a slight change in my Instagram was because apparently there was another LG account that was taken. So therefore, I thought to make it more distinct, add a bit of a La Petite Sister for a bit of distinction, to add a bit of my identity and signature to it. So Facebook name is LG. Instagram name is La Petite Sister.
Okay.
Or LG as well. So you can also see that
LG
on the profile.
Well. Fantastic. Are we allowed to ask about some content that we saw on La Petite Sister's Instagram page?
Yes, please. Let's ask.
Yes, I want to be naughty here and circle back to, I think you said something about different aspects of self. You know, you're not one thing. You're not just a working person. You're not just this at work, but you're different versions of yourself. And as you said that, my mind circled back to a saucy, beautiful picture that I saw on one of your IG pages. I'm wondering what that's about. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, so when you say a saucy, which of them? Ghanaians will say, which of them? Which one?
All of them.
The lingerie?
The lingerie one.
Sure. So as I talk, I mentioned that there are different versions. And so I want to inspire people not to feel rigid, to show one aspect of oneself for the world. Okay. We have many sides to us. So as you see now, I'm definitely somebody that's quite colorful. And this is a very long, long time ago. I used to like art. So art was actually one of my passions. but I didn't necessarily pursue it at the end because I found other things that drove me. Nevertheless, whilst I did not pursue art as an artist, that artistry somehow has found itself through fashion. And so one of my areas of interest is fashion. So in particular, I like vintage fashion, pin-up as well. So that is probably the reason as to why you saw that. I've always loved things related to vintage. So whether it's the hats, there's just something that's very quirky and it's timeless. You can't put a time to it. It's always going to be in fashion and it's just very unique. So I thought I wanted to find something that kind of fits with my uniqueness. And so as an interest, I was like, oh, I wish I could do a bit of pin-up and so forth. And I found this photography place based in Birmingham. So actually when I started, it was about 2 years ago. And initially I was like a client just to take photos. And then this time round, it was about February because I kept in touch with them. And they said, oh, we've got a client that's working on a lingerie for their website. They're looking for people of color. Would you be interested in actually taking part? And I thought, oh, somebody that literally, we just done it 2 years ago. The fact that you've reached out upon many other Black models and so forth. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's give it a go. I was a little bit like, oh, how's this going to work? But then I just ran with the theme because it was focused on something a bit futuristic, AI themed, hence the sort of candy and the pink. And then I thought, okay, let's try something out of the comfort zone. Let's not stick to one theme, try a different theme that is going to bring some form of a futuristic or some form of animated character. So hence the photo that you saw.
Awesome.
So pin-up is my interest as well. Vintage and pin-up, that's also an area that I like to just somehow showcase from time to time, whether it's a rose or just something very quirky. Yes.
Thank you so much. If you want to hit La Petite Sister up, those pictures are on the website. And if you're looking for Black models here, here's a queen who already has experience. Shall we go to, at this point, do you have a particular charity that you're working with for your journey at Africa UK Pageant?
Yes, sure. So as part of this pageantry now, I have collaborated. So it's called Humanity for Sisters. So we are working on a collaborative project, particularly focused on young women, so young girls, and also vulnerable kids as well, who may also be of orphanage backgrounds as well, so that may not have parents. So for the audience that don't know what I do as well, I also run a charity titled called Succeed to the Max. And Succeed to the Max is all about empowering young people from underrepresented backgrounds to be CEOs of their career destiny. Now, we have successfully joined forces with Humanities for Sisters. And so the idea now is focused around young women, particularly mental health. So finding ways to equip them to safeguard their mental health, but then also the emotional health as well. So as part of that journey and collaboration, we are, I'll tell you a bit, because actually that's going to be telling too much away, but we are joining forces to hopefully put together some form of project plan and to also run an event that is also about raising awareness and empowering young girls, in particular around sort of poverty and period poverty health as well, because we recognize those are some of the things, even during studies, we might see it as something that's not necessarily a major factor, but the idea of feeling comfortable in yourself and then having to stress about your periods during the time when you're going through different transitional things is something that we recognize is important to actually have those safe, vulnerable conversations, but then also equip them with the right equipments, sanitaries and so forth, just to ensure that they are able to then fully focus, because otherwise, if they're not able to fully focus with those unmet needs, then it's less likely that they can actually reach that self-actualization. So in a nutshell, that's what we're hoping to embark on, and stay posted, keep, watch out for our pages. We have many more things to also launch out.
Wow, amazing. To be honest, would love to listen to you more. Just you talking is very inspirational. And yes, all the best with everything. Yes.
Thank you.
For now, if we could just plug for the next guest coming next week, Second Princess. you may do the honors.
Thank you, Princess K. So next week we're still back here at 7 o'clock, and we're still with our Africa UK pageant 2024 finalists. We've got the amazing Janet Soy and Minister Jackie. We're gonna be hearing all about them, like how it is to be a minister and a finalist at the same time. So please do not miss it next week at same time, 7 p.m.
I cannot wait. Yes, indeed. Of course, it has been lovely to hear the two finalists for 2024 today. Yes, but with everything good, it always comes to an end. Unfortunately, it is that time. So all I can say is thank you so much to our wonderful guest, Linda Gyamfi. We have been honored to be able to host you, and of course to the lovely Queen D. Always a pleasure. And second princess, yes, indeedy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I bid you adieu.
Thank you
Ciao, ciao.
so much, Queen Khadija.
Thank
All the best.
you so much.
Queen.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Thank you for having me.
Bye. Pleasure.
Bye. Bye.